Hey everyone, Gaijin Kumba here. Yeah, I'm still stuck in this, and I still can't believe this is real and not some nightmare. Maybe dissecting FNAF wasn't enough. Maybe I need to analyze something closer to home, and really, nothing hits closer to home for me than Clock Tower. Personally, I grew up with the PS1 game, and to most gamers today, this game looks like crap. But as a kid growing up in the 80s and 90s, this game was terrifying. The atmosphere was heavy, and the fact that you could only run and hide as you hear the sound of those terrible shears growing closer and closer, it just got your heart racing. And in hindsight of the Japan-only Clock Tower original, the series was way ahead of its time in terms of survival horror. While small in stature, Scissorman was truly terrifying. But that got me wondering, where did the Scissorman actually come from? I mean, the concept of villains with giant scissors is nothing new. In fact, Clock Tower director Hifumi Kono already clarified that the idea of a demonic scissor-wielding murderer came from the 1981 slasher flick The Burning. But that was a summer camp story about a prank gone wrong, whereas Clock Tower is about being chased by a demonic schoolboy, and the two don't really seem to match up. After a bit of digging though, I believe I found the true origin of the 16-bit nightmare, coming not from an early 80s slasher flick, but an 1840s collection of children's stories called Der Struwwelpeter. Sorry, German's not my strong suit. An interesting series of tales, and it featured, and I quote, funny stories and whimsical pictures with 15 beautifully colored panels for ages 3 to 6. With highlights of these stories being a boy who was blown away in a storm for having his umbrella open, Santa Claus dunking kids in ink for being racially insensitive, a boy who starves to death because he didn't eat his soup, and best of all, a little girl who liked to play with matches, burning literally to ashes while her cats mourned her death. You know, for kids! But in that series of tales is the story of the Thumbsucker, which reads as follows. One day, Mama said, "Conrad, dear, I must go out and leave you here. But mind now, Conrad, what I say, don't suck your thumb while I'm away. The great tall tailor always comes to little boys that suck their thumbs. And ere they dream what he's about, he takes his great sharp scissors and cuts their thumbs clean off, and then, you know, they never grow again." Mama had scarcely turned her back, and thumb was in, alack, alack. The door flew open, in he ran, the great long-legged Scissorman. Oh, children, see, the tailor's come and caught our little suck-a-thumb. Snip, snap, snip, the scissors go, and Conrad cries out, "Oh, oh, oh!" Snip, snap, snip, they go fast, that both his thumbs are off at last. Mama comes home, there Conrad stands, and looks quite sad and shows his hands. "Ah," said Mama, "I knew he'd come, to naughty little suck-a-thumb." Needless to say, while this story is supposed to act as a cautionary tale for kids, the concept of the Scissorman changed over time in the general media, with the horrible man being incorporated in all sorts of disturbing roles, such as his mention in the 1930s haunting poem The Two by W.H. Auden, or the use of Scissorman in modern media like Doom Patrol Volume 2, Issue 19, where the Scissormen are portrayed as dark yet strange beings who wear upside-down crosses and have scissors for hands who literally cut people out of reality. So yeah, I think it's entirely possible that Clock Tower took some inspiration from this tale. In fact, in some places it's pretty obvious. I mean, look at Bobby Barrows, aka the original Scissorman, and look at the depiction of our thumb-sucking boy. I don't know what else to say here except that they're almost identical. Similar clothing, similar colored hair, similar shoes. I just find it hard to believe that there wasn't some sort of inspiration taken here. Another little detail that sticks out like a sore thumb comes from Clock Tower on the PS1, when, during an interview, the Scissorman is referred to as a symbol of terror amongst youngsters. During the first Clock Tower game, and even through subsequent games, not just children were targeted. In fact, by the end of it all, I believe the body count for adults was far higher than children. So why would only children be afraid of the Scissorman, unless it was a nod to a 200-year-old monster of a man used to scare children? What do you guys think? Is Clock Tower Scissorman reference to a horrifying 3 to 6-year-old storybook, or do you think the inspiration runs elsewhere? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to check out more spooky culture and gaming, click here to check out my breakdown of FNAF and its close association with the Boogeyman. Or click here to learn how the ever-panned NES game Friday the 13th may have been one of the most brilliant horror games of its time. But until next time, everyone, this is Gaijin Kumba signing out.